Hello, machine saturation causers. This is NieR Automata. We're near the very end of the game. Two and a half playthroughs later, we are approaching the top of the tower, the capital T tower. Both A2 and 9S are making their way to the top on a quest for truth and a quest for justice.
Also, this isn't actually an elevator. It's more of an elevator ramp.
Ko-shi.
Hey, Ko-shi. Of course it's still kicking. We didn't blow it up the first time.
There's still one left alive. These GD machines.
We are.
Machines of the nation, we are. Machines of the nation.
We are.
We are.
Machines of the nation, we are.
We are.
Machines of the nation. POD only really has that one track. I mean, there are other tracks that they're associated with, but that's the only one that ever got any significant radio player popularity.
That's the one that deserves way more praise than the other crap that they came up with.
Really?
Way down below, way down below, way down below, way down below, way down below. Like, just going.
Sounds like they could have soundtracked this game.
The fucking like Victrola rock and roll back in the 50s could have sounded better than that shit.
We have a very high-tempo piano piece here.
Yeah, we've heard. The game is just about out of new audio tracks to play in the background, except maybe for the final encounter. Yes, the encounter that we've all been waiting for. When 9S and A2 finally have that fateful confrontation, and now that we've switched over to 9S, we have a chance to become ensconced in this rather predictable but heavily forecasted final battle between the two final remaining androids of the YorHa division.
Are we sure that we're the only androids left? Like, no one else survived the Eve virus?
Nope, there is nobody else.
That seems very unlikely to me, to be perfectly honest. Because YorHa had units all over the planet, didn't they?
Right, and they all became infected with the virus. Oh boy. See, that really hurt. Ro-shi and Ko-shi are not pulling any po-shi.
Yeah, this is Ro-shi. So what kind of etchy-max does he have hidden inside his attic?
Attic. Well, we are heading to his attic space right now. See, this seems very similar to another machine we had taken out. Oh, jeez. Now we have a mook encounter. Bravo, NieR, for once again varying the types of things we will be doing. Setting up invisible walls on the elevator so that you simply cannot...
I'm glad that we have invisible walls on the elevator. You don't realize how deadly invisible walls can, the absence of invisible walls can be until you played some side-scrolling brawlers where they're not there.
Yeah. Or Streets of Rage.
Looking at you,
style.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah.
I don't actually know if it actually had an elevator section without walls. But there are beat 'em ups that have elevator sections without invisible walls. They are very deadly. Battletoads, I know, did it quite a bit.
Well, what it does, it will set up the dramatic suspense. So normally elevators are taking you to a place higher than where you are. And usually the bad guy is at the top of the tower, taking the very utmost penthouse suite, where I have view of the city and a handful of titty.
So, did Streets of Rage ever do elevators without invisible walls?
Well, they had physical walls. Streets of Rage 3 did that. Streets of Rage 2 also did that.
A new bolt. Ooh.
Now, remember, there is still a point to picking up items. I know it doesn't look like there's a point because there are no more vendors.
Cloud, there
for the
hasn't
rest
been
of
a
the
point
game.
for you picking up items in the last 20 parts. Don't try and lie to our viewers.
So says you. You are not privy to the secrets of NieR Automata. Let us show you what items are all about. Your inventory matters. Your memories also matter. Don't let anybody tell you your memories don't matter.
So are you going to actually enter New Game Plus during this playthrough?
Well, I mean, technically this is New Game Plus. We're starting a new campaign carrying over the item, experience, and level and weapons that we had from previous playthroughs. So, yes, this is...
I don't really qualify Scenario C as New Game Plus, to be perfectly honest, because it's a direct continuation of both Scenario A and B.
Well, you would agree then that we did basically... Oh, yeah, right, I still have Berserk mode. I want to use Berserk mode. Yeah. Just going into Berserk mode lets off a jet of energy. It will cause enemies to become repelled and receive massive amounts of damage. Well, just to finish my point, so because 9S had a... okay, so you don't like Scenario B or C type playthroughs in lieu of New Game Plus. Well, there is a New Game Plus mode. And that's why there is a point to having items even after it is clear you cannot use these items. It is the reason why Sadler drops 100,000 pesetas. Because even though all you do at that point is jet ski Ashley off of the island, you will have a chance to use that 100,000 pesetas.
Given what the rest is on our recording docket for today, that tail attack is going to really piss me off later.
What's all this junk?
Speculation.
God damn it! I activated Berserk mode right when it stopped mattering.
Well, yeah, you wanted to nuke the rest of the tiny guys. So the tiny guys just get exploded from a Berserk mode activation.
Yeah, that was fun. See, imagine there's even more of a point than just having Berserk mode, but just activating Berserk mode is fucking awesome, bro. And then we switch back
All
to
right,
9S.
you actually gonna Are you actually gonna defeat Ro-shi this time? No.
No. We're just whittling away at the health bars. Because we got a lot of... Because this whole back and forth boss sequence does take the rest of the video to complete.
Mostly because you're not honestly being all that efficient with your spacing on 9S.
The problem with this modifier is that the stupid fighter can only shoot forward versus all range mode, which lets you shoot in any direction you see fit. The problem with Ro-shi is his barrage of projectile attacks gets through my fucking anti-chain damage, which pisses me off. Oh, damn it. I activated Berserk mode at the wrong time.
Yeah, because Ko-shi isn't actually even on the board yet. This is just Hydra.
You can't kill me. I have auto heal. All right, now defeat the Ko-shi tentacles.
So does Adema have any other good tracks aside from Immortal?
Have you heard of any of their other tracks?
No.
Then the answer is no. Well, I'm sure that the talent of Adema had gone on to do other things. It's like the members of System of a Down while they were on a 13-year-long hiatus. Or is it 14? I think it was 14, actually. Yeah, they found other things to do. Surge
kept producing music under his own name.
Under his own name.
And he's got a lot of collabs too.
And John and Darren made Scars on Broadway, and Chavo was he was either the bassist or sound engineer for, I think it was a hip-hop group, actually.
And Scars on Broadway was actually relatively popular at one point.
At one point. That was it, just at one point. Although I gotta say that they say is surprisingly still relevant even, 14 years after the fact. I still remember discovering that on the Music Choice channel. That is when I had to go to Music Choice in order to discover new music. Say, really? This is Darren's new band? I would have never known. Thank you, Music Choice.
You see, those of us from the even older age of the internet know that the IRC chats were where you would actually go to discover new music. Mind you, you'd end up with a shit ton of malware that way, but, you know, it was sometimes worth it to discover new music. Only sometimes, though.
I guess the song that A2 is discovering is, "Hey, you, get off of my cloud." See, A2 never listened to the Rolling Stones.
Don't honestly blame her for that. I mean, Rolling Stones only really have like five relatively good tracks.
No, that's not true.
Can you name more than 5 really good Rolling Stone songs?
I can't get no satisfaction. Paint It Black. Hey, you, get off my cloud. Under my thumb. Wild Horses is okay. You want me to name a 6th one?
No, mostly because the majority of those tracks are better done by other bands.
Better done by other bands. Man, nobody, you know, not even the Rolling Stones could make a better version of Paint It Black than their studio version. Because I listened to the live version of Paint It Black. It sounds like ass, and I will not listen to ass.
Yeah, honestly, that's one of the big issues that I've got with live renditions of most of my favorite tracks. Like Bruce Springsteen has got a collab with Adam Durance, where Adam ends up doing like almost the entirety of Thunder Road. And I love that live version. It is still the only live version of Adam Durance that I can honestly tolerate, because a lot of their other live stuff is just not as good. There are several live tracks that I actually like, but they're like single digit. There's a single digit number of them, you know. Like when Bruce Springsteen was with the E Street Band and they did "Lost in the Flood." That is a great live track, but it's also ludicrously long and really shouldn't be as long as it is.
So how disjointed is this boss fight so far for you?
Not really. I can follow it pretty cleanly. It's just that we're shifting back and forth much more rapidly than we honestly should be.
I think what's happening is that there's a timer that is active. If the time is up, then the game checks how much health Ro-shi or Ko-shi has. Like for example, we were not in that segment for any time at all, and the reason why we weren't, I conjecture, is because Ro-shi's health bar had already met the threshold for forcing the transition, and that's why we transitioned after only seeing him for a total of 9 fucking seconds.
But then why did this transition only have us fight the Hydras?
See, now Ro-shi's health bar has completely disappeared, meaning, yeah, we are well past the transition point. Well, see, these Hydras are not, these do not have health bars attached to the boss. These are just distractions.
And yet here we are again back at Ro-shi, and he's still taking damage too.
He's taking damage, but his health bar has disappeared, so the game is not, the game is just acknowledging that we're inflicting damage, but the damage is not being applied to a health bar. Yes, I've seen it. You open your arms wide and then you bring them close together like you're clapping your hands. So, I mean, so far, this is the most annoying part, is, like, all we're doing is just surviving. And then the clouds come in, all obscure-like, and then... So we've had a total of, like, 12 transitions back and forth, giving you ample time to play both as the ass-kicking A2 and the shit-in-pants Flyer 9S.
The Galaga 9S. There's a new attack!
Right. So all you have to do is just survive long enough to have the transition, and the transition happened. Wonderful.
Honestly, I'm not disjointed by this fight. I'm more annoyed because all we got to do left is deal another 10% to Ko-shi, and the fight's over. But we're gonna transition like multiple times back and forth between Ro-shi and Ko-shi.
Yep, and there's another transition. I guess they're really laying it on thick how simultaneous all of this action is.
Yeah, but 9S wins this race then.
Yeah, they make it at the same time.
I mean, as far as the canon of the story is concerned, sure, but for recording this playthrough, no, 9S totally gets to the top of the tower first.
They make it at the same time. I'll have you know, and of course they make it at the same
Well,
time.
yeah, in the canon of the story, but for the playthrough specifically, no, 9S totally wins this race.
Yeah, slam, slam. Suddenly I'm getting Jersey
Behind
Devil
you.
vibes. I can make your hands clap. And in the next part, I can also make.
We will
Gerdak
finally
cough.
finish fucking Ko-shi.
Yay.
Be safe, everybody.